Hi everyone, welcome back to episode 2 of the Garden Coliseum Bonsai Tree Starter Kit. I was really looking forward to this kit when we first opened it up because it comes with all the goodies that it comes with, which have proved rather useful. These have been sat waiting to see if there's any germination that takes place. The only germination that we've had is once again in the pines, so dwarf mountain pines. Both sets of those have had some germination. We've got 5 germinating in that bag and just a single one in this bag. All the others, the Judas tree, the red maple, the Italian cypress and the Japanese cedar, we've had no movement with those whatsoever. So they're going to go into stratification now. But what I'm going to do first is just open them up, let them breathe, give them a squirt of water just to put a bit of moisture into the top again. And then we'll get them into the fridge to start their stratification process. They do have varying times on each of these. So what I'm going to do is we'll read the instructions again. We will mark on the labels the date that they went into stratification and therefore the date that they're due to come out of stratification, which is probably going to end up to be perfect now for coming out in spring. So getting them in that cold fridge for the stratification, coming out in March, ready for spring. So we'll just give each of these a quick spray. So that's those sprayed up. We'll now look and see what the dates are. We'll put today's date on and get them in. So I'll just move the pines out of the way for the moment. And if we take the booklet out of the box, we'll be able to see how long each one is due to go into stratification for. We will also, once we've taken the pines out, put those in for stratification as well, just in case there's any seeds in there that come round also. So step 8 is the step for the cold stratification to break the final part of dormancy. Cold stratification is a technique used to simulate the real-world conditions that a seed would receive outdoors. This is easily replicated within a home refrigerator. Now, after the propagation period, put the bag containing the pot into the refrigerator. The stratification time period for each seed variety are as follows. So for red maple, it's 8 to 12 weeks. The Judas tree, it's 6 to 8 weeks. And the Italian cypress, Japanese cedar and dwarf mountain is only 4 to 6 weeks. So if we line those up so that I can see them anyway. Japanese cedar 6 to 8. Italian cypress is a 6 to 8. And then the dwarf mountain pines over that side are 6 to 8. So the Judas tree is 6. Sorry, these are all 4 to 6. Sorry about that, a bit of confusion. The Judas tree is 6 to 8. And then the red maple will be the longest time in there for 8 to 12 weeks. So I'll just get the pen. So these are going in on the 5th of the 1st, 19. 19, I'm starting already. 20. That's the first time I've dropped that clinger. 5th, 1st, 20. I think I'm allowed one, aren't I? So these are going to go in for 8 to 12 weeks. So if we're looking at 8 weeks, we're looking at end of February. So if we put the date down as March, these can look to start coming out in March, beginning first, maybe 2 weeks of March. So they're due to come out in March. The Judas tree is 6 to 8 weeks. So we'll put these down going in on the 5th, 1/20, and then they'll come out Feb, and I'm going to put 28. I know it's a leap year this year and we've got 29, but it'll allow me that one little day just to flex with. And we'll put the same in with this one, going in 5/1/20, due to come out Feb 29. I'll add that one a day. God, I'm doing well here. Then the Italian Cypresses, both of those, and both Japanese cedars. These only need 6 to 8 weeks, so we'll put these down as the 14th of February to think about bringing them out. So 5/1/20 is the in date, and Feb 14th to be brought out. 5/1/20 and Feb 14. Final one, bar 1, but the final type before we do the pines, Feb 14, and the last of the final ones, 5/1/20 to come out Feb 14. Okay, so we'll move the instruction booklet out of the way. We will transfer these into the fridge, and then we will get to work on the dwarf mountain pines, getting them into some pots. Okay, so that's the other little plants, well, the seeds, sorry, gone into stratification. So we're left with the dwarf pines that we're going to transfer. Now in the instructions it does say to leave the dwarf pines for 10 to 12 months in order for these to become nice and strong and to start, you know, becoming strong enough to last on their own. Now in the process of taking them out of the bag, 4 became, oh no, there is 5. I was going to say 4 became 5, but they are there, they're just tangled up. But seeing as these are so close together and so tied up, and this one's already fallen over, I'm going to risk taking them out of the soil and transferring them into these other singular pots, plant them a little bit deeper, and just give them the opportunity, hopefully, to try and stay and keep going. So that's what we're going to do now. We're going to transfer these across into these little pots. So we'll work with this one first of all because this has got the most in, and we can get all 4 of these potted up. And what we'll do first is get a bit of soil into the bottom of each of these. We'll just give that a little bit of a spray just to dampen it down, and then I think we'll just break this pot up. We're not going to use it again, and just allow the roots to expose themselves so that we don't have to pull them too much from what they are. So I'll just let you see what I'm doing. So just literally just allowing them to fall apart, and then we can transfer each one individually into a pot and start placing soil around it. Just make sure it goes all the way around the seedling, and we'll just keep it moist inside. So we'll just dampen that down again. Put a little bit more soil around in an effort to keep it straight, and then I will put a bit of the bonsai soil around the top, because that will be a little bit firmer around the top. I've got shaky hands today, and hopefully this will help stop it from falling over, because the particles will help keep it upright. So that'll be number one. And these were quite leggy, so planting them that bit deeper in stops them falling over, because that's what they seem to be intending to want to do. But we'll try and stop them from doing that by planting these ever so that much deeper. I will try and hold it a bit higher this time. So fiddly. Try and pour the soil around the seedling. It's ever so delicate. I'm holding it here in my fingertips, and I could quite easily squash it and kill it myself. So you have to be really careful with them as you've got them. But hopefully once we've transplanted it and it lays down further roots inside, it should grow nicely up in the tent upstairs and straighten itself out. I'll just bring this little pot a little bit closer. I'm shaking away trying to use it. My daughter actually got me this pot. Little emblem on there, grown by Let's Do Bonsai. Lovely little pot, and thank you very much, Maisie. It's a marvellous thing. So we'll use it wisely, and one day we'll probably put a pot in there with a nice bonsai in there. If ever I can grow a really nice one, I'll make it pride of place in this lovely dish that I got for Christmas. So we'll just keep doing these and keep them nice and moist as they're going in. Next one, whichever one's at the top, that one. So we'll swap the pots and we'll get the soil. Oh, yeah, plenty of it in there. Just moisten it through. And a little bit more. That's it. And then we'll put some of the mixture in, the bonsai mix. That should hopefully hold it nice and sturdy. Number four, sorry, of 5. We use a bit of the soil that was in there already. And we'll give that a bit of a spray. Let's dampen it down and a bit more of this soil just around. And then we'll top it off with the bonsai soil just to keep the top supported as much as we can. Give that a spray. Put the rest of this soil into the bottom of this pot with it being a bit bigger. Utilise some of that soil that's already there, and I do have another bag of soil here that doesn't want to open. We'll pour that into here. And we'll take our 5th one out of this pot, dangle it into the pot itself. And just give that a moisten. Hopefully that will help it stay upright. We will just put a little bit of the bonsai soil in for support in the middle, because this is quite a leggy one that we've got here. So that might hopefully give it a bit of support, a bit of the soil across the top. And then we'll spray that. And then we'll just top that off with the bonsai soil. Give the top of that a squirt. Hopefully they'll find their own way through the roots down into the bottom, and it's sat in there quite nicely and loosely, but hopefully it'll carry on growing and living. And the final one, this one's really leggy as well. We get plenty of soil into the bottom of this. Bits of the original off the other one. And then we'll just break this apart because it's not needed anymore, and just see if we can see where it's coming from, and there it is. So we'll just angle it into the pot. Get plenty of soil around it. Need 17 hands for this. We'll do that. We'll get a bit of the bonsai soil. Get that placed around the stem, the trunk as it's going to be. Give it a squirt, dampen everything down. And I think we'll just continue to fill it up with the bonsai soil at the top. That's more than enough. So that's that. So what I'll do is I'll get these labelled up as the Garden Coliseum dwarf pines, because obviously we've lost the information off the bag now, and they'll go into a nice bright shelf in one of the grow tents, and hopefully they'll continue growing nicely, but at least then we'll be able to know where they came from. So this is Let's Do Bonsai. I'm Scott Winard. Thank you very much for watching, and we'll see you on the next one.